I've got a special guest here with me today, Jo Hood. Now, she is the person who started Mainly Music, a bit of an institution here in New Zealand, but also around the world. Many of us have taken our kids, our grandkids. Maybe that's something that you're currently doing and you look forward to maybe every Wednesday morning. But today, here on this Monday morning, Jo Hood is with me. Good morning. Welcome.
Morena.
Morena. Lovely to meet you. It's funny because I took my son, like many people, to Mainly Music for many years. So even though you and I haven't met before, I feel this connection to you.
Yes.
And you probably get that a lot, I would imagine.
Do. And I feel a connection to you because you've got memories of Mainly Music with your son.
Yeah. So, I mean, for people who don't know what Mainly Music is, a lot of people would, but just give us a brief outline of what it is.
Sure. Well, it's half an hour of fun music connected with your preschooler, baby or preschooler. Or a preschooler that you have relationship with.
Yeah.
It's not us being the next Wiggles. It's actually connecting parent or grandparent or carer with the child. So lots of fun music, lots of early literacy, numeracy, all that sort of stuff.
Playing the instruments too.
Yes.
That was always fun.
So lots of developmental things happening there. Some God songs thrown into the mix because we need to be reminded that we're created and there's a creator and that life isn't chaotic, even though sometimes it feels like it. And then that's followed by Eat, Play, Chat, which is exactly that. Everybody gets to eat, the children get to play, and it's a time for building community. So we say that we're creating joy-filled communities of belonging.
Yeah, and one thing I loved about Mainly Music, I mean, probably 3/4 of the people there aren't Christians. They just rock up because it's
people
like
from the community.
Yeah, this is a fun thing to do. And then you just get to meet all sorts of people.
You
I
do.
mean, I went to some church that was not my church, but it was, like you say, community. It's such a wonderful thing.
Yep. And we all need that connection.
We do. So it was 34 years ago that Mainly Music started at Hillsborough Baptist Church.
Yes.
And I understand that is still going strong.
It is. And I went there on Thursday, actually. Still one of their strategic connection points into the community, and there were they have 16 to 18 families every week. Those are people that are looking for connection and community and something to do that's really great with their preschooler, with their tamariki.
Yeah. How did it all start for you, Jo?
Well, I was actually attending a music group in Blockhouse Bay Community Centre. And then the whole thing was going to change, and I have a music background. I did music right through school. I love Jesus, and so it was like, how can I join this? Love family, love whānau. How can we make this happen? And the church is a great space. It's a great place from a physical accountability, financial underwriting, volunteer collecting space. And so it all started.
Yeah, and then it's just sort of exploded.
Yes, we're
Around
in Australia
globe.
And in the UK, and we have just before I came over to Aotearoa, received notification that we've got 50% of the funding to get Mainly Music Canada started.
Wow.
But I have to find the other 50% first.
Wow.
So anybody that's got a heart for Canada, let me know if you've got some money there that you'd like to put into it.
Yeah, so what is your focus now? Because it is such a big ministry and it's a global entity.
Yes, it is. So we have an office here in Aotearoa, one in Australia and one in England. So the whole UK situation. My focus is to get further afield in English-speaking countries, although we did have a Mainly Music in Spain and the one in Lebanon for expats.
Wow.
Krista has said, I found a volunteer who can keep it going or restart it, and this is the worst possible time to restart Mainly Music, and it's the best possible time because the expats are all leaving and the ones that are left are desperate for connection and community. So at the Arab Baptist Church of Beirut, they will be starting Mainly Music all over again.
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
I'm really excited. I actually visited there. So,
It's incredible. And of course it is all built on volunteers, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So any of you listening or if I end up on Shine, please make contact. We would love to either start one in your local church or you could join another church and connect in.
Now, something I didn't know, there's mainly music, but you've also got something called mainly play.
Yes.
Mainly babies.
Yes.
And you're also in the prison system, is that right?
Well, here and in Australia, yes, we've got mainly music in 2 prisons. One here.
So cool.
Yeah.
So a volunteer goes into the prison?
No, we actually pay staff
Okay.
for that. Yeah. Which.
So that's mothers and babies?
Yes, it is. The mother and baby unit.
Yeah.
In both in Brisbane and in Wiri here in Tamaki Makaurau.
Wow.
Yes, fantastic. And I got a little story about that because then there's a drug and alcohol facility that's not connected with the prison. But this mum was at the drug and alcohol facility after coming out of prison and said, why haven't we got mainly music here? And so guess what? We've got mainly music there. But it's all really dependent on funding.
Yeah.
So both donor-based and grant writing.
Yeah. Oh, so you can apply for community sort of grant things. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, along with 50,000 others.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
It's getting pretty tight out there for that. So,
yeah.
shall I tell you about Mainly Play and Mainly Babies?
Please do.
So Mainly Play is similar format to Mainly Music, but it's around a story and sensory activities. So they will sing maybe up to 3 songs. So we've got a very definite difference between the two. And Mainly Play started in Australia. So a lot of the denominations and the denominational movements came to us and said, you do such a great job of looking after Mainly Music groups and their volunteers and their team leaders. Our play groups really need that support. Can you do something similar? So Mainly Music was started in Aotearoa, Mainly Play in Australia.
Where you live now.
Yes, where I live now. I am still a New Zealander though, just
course.
FYI.
Of course.
Then the NHS, the National Health Service, that they were all clapping on a Thursday morning, in England and Scotland, stopped during the pandemic all their volunteer-based and paid-based activities or support systems for mothers having babies.
Right.
Which was like dumb. But anyway, we put together Mainly Babies, and the very first one happened with one of our staff trialling it in Aberdeen to mothers in her area, with her support person being in England. It was done online because we are inputting into the mothers so they can input into their babies. And had 8 women, 2 of whom we managed to get some funding for because they were teenagers who'd just had babies and they were part of another service. And so they got this early engagement. It's 8 weeks of a Mainly Music session, especially for not yet crawling babies.
Wow.
So fun.
What's some of the amazing feedback that you've had over the years that's just really touched your heart?
Yeah, so people talking about the fact that they were so isolated in their community and they got connected with a group of people going through the same life stage.
Yeah.
Another friend who was having coffee with her husband, they overheard the conversation on the table behind. So they inquired, and it was a grandmother and 2 mums who'd made friends at Mainly Music. The children were no longer at Mainly Music. I think there was one there. They had remained friends. And I hear that again and again, that people make these lifelong friendships.
Yeah. I mean, you touch on a valid point there. Excuse me. When you become a mum, it is quite isolating.
Yes.
You know, whatever you were doing before, whether work or study, and then suddenly, bang, you're at home with, and I remember it with my beloved son, but you're like, okay, what now?
Yes.
And then finding people who are on the same sort of wavelength that you can connect with can be quite difficult.
Yes.
And so, I mean, mainly music is so valid, but also obviously not just for young mums, for grandparents as well,
and
right?
dads.
And
dads love Mainly
We
Music.
had some dads at our group.
Yes.
Let's not forget that.
Yeah, they say that and working mums will say they love the predictability of the Mainly Music session. They love that it's organised. The dads love that they come in and there's something for them to focus on, and then the community happens afterwards. So, you know, they feel comfortable in that space by then. I had one dad say, Mainly Music taught me how to be a dad. He said, I didn't realise I needed to get on the ground and do that stuff with my kids.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I love that story.
Yeah, that's amazing. Look, we've already talked for 10 minutes and we've probably only scratched the surface. But I guess, you know, Joe, what would you say to somebody who, I mean, this is amazing what you started. Obviously, it was a small thing and it grew. But what would you say to somebody who's listening and perhaps they're wanting to start either a Mainly Music or something else in their community, and they're just like, where do I go?
Yeah,
what do I
get
do?
in touch with us. Don't try and gather a team together or get approval from your church leadership. Just get in touch with us. Go on mainlymusic.org.nz. There's a contact form there. There's a 0800 number. Give us a call. Send us an email.
And
we'll take it from there. And the whole purpose of Mainly Music is to resource the local church, church plant, missional community, Christian school through the journey.
Yeah, awesome. Mainlymusic.org.nz. Jo Hood, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.